Hello everybody, Senior Engineer, MBA, and Investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about the latest press release from CRISPR Therapeutics that happened earlier this week, stating that CRISPR Therapeutics announces $200 million registered direct offering. And I want to dive into this press release. I want to dive into my thoughts and what I've seen people talk about. And I think it's worth talking about these things because it reminds us about a couple of things about a public company, right? So let's take a look at it. Led by a new investor, Echo R1 Capital and SR1, with participation from existing and new investors, well positioned to execute on our ongoing clinical trials in oncology, cardiovascular, and diabetes, and further to accelerate our autoimmune and in vivo gene editing programs. Further strengthens balance sheet with pro forma cash position over $2.1 billion. With the sale of approximately $200 million of its common shares to a select group of institutional investors in a registered direct offering at a price per share $71.50, which represents over 10% of a premium of the 30-day average volume weighted average price of the stock price, right? The financing is expected to close or about February 27th, which is actually 10 days from this video. CEO of CRISPR Therapeutics stated, "We are well pleased with the quality of new and existing long-term investors as we accelerate our programs and expand our pipeline with the goal of delivering paradigm-shifting gene editing therapies to patients." I think that's the first time I ever see him say paradigm-shifting gene editing. That sentence of words, I've never seen him say that. "We are well positioned to execute on our ongoing clinical trials on oncology." Okay, we just read that. Setting up a catalyst rich of 12 to 18 months for this company. This financing bolsters our already strong balance sheet, providing the opportunity for additional value creation, giving us flexibility to reach sustainability without requiring additional capital. End of quotation. So, what are my thoughts? First of all, $200 million of cash is pretty good. Actually, I think that's over a quarter. I think that's almost 2 quarters combined worth, maybe less than 2 quarters of expenses when it comes to employees, headcount, assets, and so on that they have to basically go through. So basically half of a year, maybe less than half of a year. Why is this important? Well, first of all, I want to remind viewers, when you see these types of things, you should understand that they're basically selling shares to a group of investors, basically to raise cash. Now, is it good? Is it bad? I think it's good in a sense where you get more money in the balance sheet. I think going from over $2.1 billion is still not their peak. Actually, their peak was $2.5 billion, if I remember, back in 2022, 2021, right after Vertex paid them for 60% ownership of now called Casgevy. So that's the good news. Now, the bad news here is that they're basically diluting the stock, right? You got to think it that way, right? Whenever you see companies, raising cash from the public funds, whether or not it's from this investor or that investor, it really doesn't matter. They're basically giving shares away, which means basically if you own shares, your share now is worth less in a sense because now you have more shares gone to the public. Now, obviously, there's a huge trade-off here, right? And you can make the argument that that press release may have boosted the stock price. I don't know. I'm just making an example here, but like 5%, which actually pays back any dilution that may have happened because of this deal. Now, I want to remind viewers in this channel, this is what a public company is. When you invest in a public company, you have to be ready, especially in a volatile industry such as biotech, in a very risky industry, specifically in CRISPR. When we talk about CRISPR, that is extremely risky. You have to expect these companies to look out for its investors, for stakeholders. And one of it really is to make sure that they're doing the right decision when it comes to balance sheet. There's a reason why CRISPR Therapeutics raised cash. There is a reason. Now, we may not know the reason exactly from this press release. I think that response from CRISPR Therapeutics CEO is a little bit vague. Do you really need more than $2.1 billion to keep on going the plan that you've been executing for the past months and years? Not really. Would we ever know the reasoning? Probably not. But there's a reason for us to believe that a company like CRISPR Therapeutics, where these people involved in this company are day in out. I mean, these guys are not just working Monday to Friday. You guys can understand these companies in the public market, especially when you work billions of dollars. When you're at the leadership or a higher position, you're working every single day. Believe me, you are working every single day. And before someone says, oh, Sunday they take off, they don't. Sunday night, they're starting the week. Okay, so Saturday they're working. Friday night they're working. These people work every single day for 365 days a year, however many days there are in a year. These guys are working every day. And if you believe that these guys don't have the best interest for the company or for the stakeholders, I think it's a little bit naive, because they have more knowledge than we would ever have, because we're busy with other things in our life. And that's why we don't work at that company. We work at other companies, or we have our own companies, or for example, you may have your own company, or you may be working at another company. You're never going to reach the knowledge of the company as Dr. Sam. Never. You may be the best. You may have all that knowledge in CRISPR. You may have so much technical knowledge, but as a company, you would never have as much knowledge as Dr. Sam, his VPs, his executives, the board. You'll never have as much knowledge as them, because these people are involved every single day with the business. And why am I telling you guys this? Is because I want to remind you guys that when you see these types of press releases, there have to be reasons. Now, does it make sense on a surface level? Probably not. But under the surface, you have to understand there are many discussions going. Maybe they see something that we don't see. Maybe they foresee certain discussions happening in the next few years. Maybe they see that the other programs they're working on are going to require a lot more focus, a lot more investments, and they're going to need to hire a lot more faster. And that means a lot more expenditures. And that means that they don't want to drain their balance sheet, and that's why they want to grow it to over 2.1 billion. Who knows? I mean, there's so many reasons, right? But I want to just let those thoughts to the viewers, because I saw sort of mixed opinions on this. I saw some people, why they're selling shares. I mean, they already have a lot of money and the balance sheet. Why they're doing that now? I mean, they just went commercial. Can't they wait to see how much revenue they can get? That's all I have to offer for today's video. I mean, look, this is the price to pay when you invest in these companies. You're never going to know more than the people in the company. You just won't. I mean, it's naive to say that if whatever the SEC does, whatever regulations there are to protect you, whatever rules there are to protect you, laws, you will never know more than any of these executives. And if these executives back up this decision, that there must be reasons, not just a single reason, there must be multiple reasons that explain it, but reason that they don't have to disclose based on the rules we have with the SEC and so on. Clearly here we have abstract reasoning. We'll see where we go from there. Am I happy? I think I'm good. I'm fine. I trust this company. They've delivered so far. There's no reason for me to believe that them further enhancing their balance sheet is for, negative reasons, or they don't, quote unquote, don't know what they're doing, as I saw someone say on X.com. We'll go with that. We'll see what happens. As always, guys, subscribe if you're not. Like this video, really does help this channel, guys. Like it. It populates our videos to other homepages. As always, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this registered direct offering. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.